Hey everyone, what's going on? We're just sitting over here, me and Bradley, just chilling. It's about 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 in the afternoon, somewhere in there. Hey Bradley.
Yeah.
So nothing really going on. And I just thought, share a little bit of what's going on. What's going on with you?
What's going on?
What's going on? So anyway,
Keep them letters and postcards coming in.
yeah, there you go, by God. So I having some coffee. Isn't it awesome that they provide a coffee cup when you buy coffee? We're guys. That's how we roll.
No time to explain.
Isn't she beautiful?
Get on the tricycle.
Love Marilyn Monroe. I even let her wear my hat. She's looking at you. Look at her. Look. Anyway, going through a few songs, I found a bunch of songs on another, user account thing, and my computer crashed, couldn't find. I'm like, oh my God, I lost all these songs. Well, dude backed up my files, and so I found literally exactly 500 songs, and I pretty much forgot all about it. So I'm going through them and found so many that I just forgot. But first off, it's kind of it's not a happy song. It was it's one hell of a story. I had a really good weekend back in, this is back in 1932. This is back in 2008, and back when I was wild and crazy. I ain't crazy anymore. I'm just insane. No, I had a really good weekend, and it was bad enough to where it was good enough that I woke up Sunday morning in jail, and got in a bar fight, and this guy stole a tip jar, and it just didn't go. And anyway.
Yeah, but if we knew you, you'd give it to him.
All I had to do was ask. He didn't have to steal it.
I know you.
So anyway, I ended up in jail, and I walked by, and there was just a cool looking hippie type guy laying there, laying in his bed. And you go to jail, you just don't. The best way to keep people away from you is talk to yourself. So anyway, nobody will bother you. So you just don't talk to anybody. But there was this guy, and he was just laying there, and everybody's sad. Well, can't say that. There's a lot of happy people in there. Nevertheless, I saw this guy, and they just looked like, a cowboy type guy, rider type guy, just hippie type, So I said, hey man, what's going on? He just kind of looked up at me. Come to find out, he just something didn't look right. His skin was, something just wasn't right.
The power.
It was real pasty and white and gray. And so anyway, so I sit there and I started talking to him. Come to find out, he asked me what I did, and I said, another singer-songwriter. So he goes, yeah, I'm a songwriter. Cool, man. And He goes, you ever heard of John Cafferty and the Beaver Brown Band? I'm like, Dark Side? He goes, I wrote that song. I go, bullshit. You're a liar. He goes, well, whatever. He goes, but I wrote that song. I go, why haven't you bonded out? He goes, well, I ain't got no money. I go, well, how can you not have any money? You wrote that song. He wrote 3 others for that whole Eddie and the Cruiser soundtrack. And so, anyway, he goes, oh, I got money. He goes, I just don't know. It's in California. A P.O. box that BMI sends, all of his royalty checks. He said, I got close to, all this $1 million. I got lots of money. I just can't get to it. And so, I go, well, where's your family? He was like, oh, he was my kids. They've all pretty much let me go. Turned their back on me because he turned to drinking. Anyway, we were talking, come to find out. I asked him, what's wrong with you? He said, I got liver cancer. He goes, I should have died, last month or 6 months ago or something. Anyway. So I was going over all these songs and I forgot all about this story until I saw one called My Last Wish. The song that I wrote. So I got literally about 450, probably, well, I've only opened up, just a handful. I got all these songs that I forgot about. And so, if you want to write, you write. And I write. So, he, met this cat in a Sunday morning jail. He said his name and told me I don't want to go to hell. I've been told there's something wrong, that I may not live too long. He looked at me like he was scared to death. I could see the fear in his eyes. His skin looked like something wasn't right. But I laughed at his stories as if everything's alright. Then I asked, do you believe in God? He said, I just don't know, but yeah, I really hope so. If he can hear me, just let me live on. There's worse out there more than me, but I've never heard a plea. I've never asked God for a thing. He said prayers are like a wish. If he would just grant me this, my last wish is to live. He did his time and went back to his wine. He called and said he just got in a fight. He said, I'm picking down on Broadway. Come on, let's throw one back. Get here real fast. I got a sense of sadness that covered me up with that contagious laugh. You could never get enough. I prayed many prayers for him. I hope I'll see him again. And I hope God holds his hands. He said, I just don't know, but yeah, I really hope so. If he can hear me, then let me live on. There's worse out there than me, but I've never heard a flea. I've never asked God for anything. He said prayers are like a wish, and if he would just grant me this, my last wish is to live. Something tells me he's drunk somewhere, telling another story to another hungry ear. I love that dude, even though I don't know him. It's a tragedy. He can't be here. He said, I just don't know, but yeah, I really hope so. If God can hear me, just let me live on. There's worse out there than me, but I've never heard a flea. Never asked God for a thing. He said prayers are just like a wish, and if he grants me this, my last wish is to live. Well, about 6 months later, I got a call from the jail. And they asked me if I knew, I forgot his name. And I said he found a wallet when they found him, and he had passed away. And in that wallet there was a note saying to leave everything that he has to me. Well, when I went home, we just did a weekend in jail and got out at separate times. I got out in the morning, whatever. I just lost track of it, got back to life. And anyway, but I did contact, I made sure that his kids were in his royalty checks. I was able to get a hold of them, and he was homeless, just living on the streets, and just gave his life to alcohol. And so I made sure that his kids, and I talked to they were able to get his checks for him. And plus I let, since he was dying, that he wrote down a living will type thing. Anyway, so that they're getting his money, but everything else, he left everything else to me. And so they said, come on down and pick up his wallet. And so I went down and I picked up his wallet. And he did. He left everything to me. And everything that he left.
This memory of you.
It's a hell of a memory, yeah. Some
Today.
pictures of his kids. A couple maxed out dead credit cards. A license. A note saying leave everything to me. And his wallet. So if I wouldn't have made sure that everything was signed over to his kids, I'd probably be a millionaire right now. I am a millionaire in my heart, But nevertheless, so yeah, one hell of a story just going through this. So anyway, that's the story. I'm just gonna leave it there right now, and yeah, we'll just do that. Thank you all for listening.